Hey there gang, Jackalair here, just with a brief preview of the secret world. Decided to kind of go through some different parts of it, show you kind of the nuts and bolts and a little bit of the gameplay. I'm on my character Ivy Box from the beta weekend that just finished. And let's take a look at some of the things we got going on here. Kind of standard fare. We have an inventory. It's got inventory slots in it, and it does actually track number of items by the space that they take up. So stacks of item count as one item. Nothing particularly impressive. One of the cool things that you can do is you can actually create bags off of the inventory that kind of work like alternate hotbars. It's kind of cool. You also have the ability to add more space down there. Not really sure what that's for, because I just clicked it and it said okay. I don't know if that's going to be an upgrade thing in game once it gets going. Now, the game will have PvP. In the beta weekend, I couldn't figure out how to actually get in it. Every time I clicked on anything, it just wasn't available, so there were always no wins. Each of the factions had 33%, and it just wasn't moving along at all, so I didn't know how to enter it. Decided just not to go. Now the map is done in this really cool, like, amusement park motif, and you get to see all the people that you've run across, and it labels where you need to go in most cases. Some quests are exceptions, but I found it really nice to read. One of the most inventive things is the skill wheel, or skill hub. I forget what they actually call it, but what this does is that you get to put points into either ranged, magic, or melee weapons, choosing each of the weapon that you want, and then you get to max out the rings and keep going further and further in the discipline. Now this means that each of them that you unlock goes towards a total. You can see my total completion there. There are going to be 525 skills altogether. Some of them mix and match fairly well, some of them don't. You can be a gun-toting magic wielder or a sword-wielding gun nut. There are 7 active and 7 passive skills that you can equip, and you can mix and match between them. You can also equip them through the little menu bar there, and you can have one of the super powers per each. There are also character skill points. Now these are what you spend to be able to equip better weapons, and it affects both the active and the passive skills. Some of them make you heal better, some of them make the weapons do more damage, and the bottom ones, the talismans, allow you to equip better talismans. These are also how you equip better and better gear. The higher skill level you have, the better the gear you can use. Moving on to crafting. This works kind of weird. Now, you have the raw materials, and you can also deconstruct other things that you have. I'm going to take my old gun, and I'm going to disassemble it. Now, you see the pattern that it makes? They're kind of taking a note from Minecraft and other games that do the pattern-based thing, is that now all I need to do is get better materials and recreate that pattern. Now, you can combine a bunch of these things. This is the base metal. If we click Assemble, we will now get imperfect metal. And then you take 5 imperfect metal, combine it together, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And that's how you build things. And then you move those into the patterns that you've seen before. But enough about the different parts of the game. Let's wander off and actually go find something to do. Yeah, he'll do. So, combat works kind of the same as it does. You have a range that you can do. I'm using guns, so I'm short range. And you run up and you click buttons, and you shoot people. Now, because you can kill stuff, eventually they're going to drop loot. these are the icons that they look like, and if they're blue, they're fairly normal, and if they're green, they actually have an item that may be worth something. Now, as you can see, we're going to get a necklace there, a pendant, and it automatically compares it to what you're wearing. So you can instantly take a look and say, okay, I want this, I don't want that. And a lot of times the equipment does bind, so keep that in mind. On to the screwed up part of this game, and the reason that I fell in love with it right away. Okay, so I'm looking for Derek Creed, who I just found, and I'm still looking for Lawrence Creed. So I'm not exactly sure what to do here, so lack of anything better to do, I decide to pull out my guns and start gunning poor Derek down. Now, as you'll notice behind him, there's a corpse there that highlights, which means I can click on it. So I run around, do my little gun thing, so that I can actually get rid of Derek here and go inspect the body. Now, when I do inspect the body, I'm very surprised to find that it's in fact Lawrence Creed. So I've just killed the zombie of the son who was actually munching on his father's corpse. Oh, another quick thing, when you actually complete missions, you get this little send report thing on the side, and that means you actually get to just complete the quest by clicking that and sending the report back to the faction that whoever you're with. Now, this of course doesn't apply to things where you actually need to turn in items and such, but for the most part they're going to say thank you for your blah 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 blah, we'll contact you if we have anything further. It's kind of cool, and it skips the running back to a quest giver every 5 seconds. Now, this is Che, or who I have dubbed the F-bomb guy, because he drops F-bombs left and right. As you can see, that quest is on cooldown, so I wasn't able to get it recorded, but just listen to some of the classic dialogue he has.
We were, just passing through with our little band of merry fucking hippies when that shit rolled in from the sea like whipped cream on a blueberry pie. That's like knowing someone who knew Jesus, The red telephone to our motherfucking savior. Can't escape the light, my friend. It's all fucking encompassing, like air. We're like air. Breathe it.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this was a beta, so I did get stuck a time or two just kind of standing around, and then this happened. Well, gang, I hope you've liked my quick walkthrough of the Secret World, my brief experience in the beta. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these as I really love the game, and it was just too much fun. Now, standing in the Crucible here, by the way, which is one of the training places for the Templar, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful room, which Funcom is known for doing. Now, that's all that I had time to record in my brief time there. I hope to get more in upcoming betas. So I'll leave you with one of the most interesting cutscenes opening in the game. So if you want to skip it and not see it, go ahead and stop now.